So far, we've learned about the basics of training and development. In this lecture, you're going to learn about some of the situational factors that impact learning in organizations. Factors like new technology and changes in workforce demographics. The forces of globalization have had a major impact on all aspects of business, including training and development. Global companies now have more competition than ever. They have to compete not only for customers, but they also have to compete for employees. Globalization has made it more challenging for these companies to recruit, hire, and train their employees. It has also increased the likelihood that any one individual manager will work with an employee from another country, from another culture that is very different from their own. Unfortunately, too many managers are not prepared to work with expatriates and immigrants. They don't have the cultural competence that they need in order to work with these individuals, in order to communicate with them, motivate them, improve their performance. Not only do managers need some type of specialized training to help them build the competencies that they will need to work with people from other countries, but employees themselves also need some type of cross-cultural training, some type of preparation to help them work with both their supervisors and their colleagues. Current economic conditions can also have an impact on training and development, but in a more indirect way. When the unemployment rate is low, it can be extra challenging for companies to recruit and hire highly skilled individuals. It can also be more challenging to retain currently high performing employees. Training and development can be used to teach new employees the skills that they need and to keep the high performers who are probably looking for additional growth opportunities. The good news is that regardless of how healthy the economy is, training can still have a positive impact on the bottom line by making sure that all employees have the KSAOs, the knowledge, skills, abilities, and other characteristics that they need to do their jobs today and in the future. A company's intangible assets can play an important role in helping it compete with other companies. These assets are non monetary and invisible, but they are just as valuable as physical and monetary assets. There are at least 4 different types of intangible assets that are relevant to training and development: human, intellectual, social, and customer capital. All 4 types can be either directly or indirectly influenced by training and development. Human capital includes all of a company's human resources, everything from their KSAOs to their unique life experiences to their enthusiasm and passion for the job that they're doing. Intellectual capital refers to all of the knowledge that exists within an organization. This knowledge can exist within humans, within technology, within documents, and other archives. Social capital refers to all of the relationships within an organization, relationships between managers and employees, for instance. Customer capital includes all of the relationships that a company has with its customers. Customer loyalty is worth something. All of these intangible assets are worth something. Determining the value of intangible assets can be a complex process and way beyond the scope of our class. I do think it's important for you to recognize that because these assets are important to business, they are also important to training and development. Training can also be influenced by who is being trained. As the workforce changes, so do their training needs. In the United States, the workforce is aging and is more diverse than ever before. While these changes do produce benefits for organizations and for individuals, they can also create challenges, like making sure all employees perceive that the work environment is fair. Generally speaking, the more diverse a workforce, the more diverse their training needs. When we talk about diversity in organizations, we're talking about more than just the surface level characteristics that we can easily see. Characteristics like gender, age, ethnicity. We're also talking about the type of diversity that we can't see: diversity of ideas, diversity of preferences, diversity of experiences. One category of diversity that doesn't get much attention but is relevant to training and development is diversity in career paths. More and more people are choosing non traditional career paths, which means that organizations have had to get more creative in terms of how they train these individuals and how they use training to recruit and hire the most talented employees. In order to address the challenges that come along with the recent changes in workforce demographics, in order to address these challenges, training needs to help both managers and employees do a couple of things. This list is not exhaustive, but these three things play a major role in effective training programs. First, employees need to be able to communicate with people from different backgrounds. Employees need to be able to share feedback, constructive feedback that helps others improve, but feedback that is also free of bias. I use air quotes around the word free because we can never be completely free of bias. The goal is to minimize it. Third, and this is mostly for leaders and managers, employees need to know how to create a learning environment that supports everyone. Many of the factors that we learn about in this video have also changed how organizations interact with their customers. Increased global competition and increased access to information online has changed customers' expectations of the products and services that they buy. The need for excellent customer service and high quality products and services is at an all-time high. In order to help companies do this, several different approaches have been developed and implemented. I have 4 of them here. I wanted to present these ideas to you because once you begin working in HR, you will likely hear about these approaches again and again. Some of you may go on to earn certifications in some of these approaches. The first one, total quality management, TQM, is a company-wide approach. All stakeholders, internal and external, are involved in continuously trying to improve the product or the service. Employees, customers, vendors, suppliers, managers, leaders, everyone in the organization is asked to attend training in TQM, and they're asked to participate in the methods, procedures, techniques that the organization develops to improve its operations. The International Organization for Standardization, ISO, creates standards for management and other areas standards that tell companies exactly what they need to do in order to meet the requirements of regulatory agencies as well as industry standards. Six Sigma is another popular approach, and employees who complete this training earn different levels of belts, sort of like in karate. The Six Sigma approach has two main components. One, use data to increase efficiencies, to increase quality, to increase customer service, to make decisions about the product or service, and reduce errors before they happen. Take a more proactive approach to minimizing the number of errors that occur. And finally, lean thinking. This is a broader approach, a way of basically doing more with less, with fewer resources. Lean thinking is sometimes taken on by companies that need to disinvest, but also continue to make money and make their customers happy. Technology touches nearly every aspect of business, and training and development is no exception. Through this course, you will learn about a variety of learning technologies that allow us to create extremely realistic training environments, provide better feedback and do it faster, and provide on-demand learning opportunities for all employees. Not only has technology completely transformed the training and development industry, it is also becoming less expensive over time. When new technology arrives on the market, sure, it's expensive, but over time, it becomes more affordable for more companies. Despite its many benefits, new technologies usually create challenges as well. Social media, for example, can help learners share information and engage in the learning community. But employers also have concerns about the effect it can have on productivity in the training situation and also on the job, as well as its connection to interpersonal conflict. Advances in technology can also be used to increase the efficiency and the effectiveness of a training system and of individual training programs. Many of the factors that we've just covered have also contributed to the expansion of non-traditional employment. Independent contractors, freelancers, on-call workers, temporary workers, and contract workers. All of these people make up what is called the gig economy, and they all have unique training needs. Traditionally, though, organizations invested in their full-time employees and left part-timers out of the training equation altogether. Today, some business models, like those of Maryville University and ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft, rely on non-traditional employees. And so their business strategies must at least consider at some level the developmental needs of this workforce. The academic and professional literature suggests that this particular group benefits most from training that is highly specialized and highly relevant to their jobs, training that is available 24/7 from any location, and training that is delivered in smaller micro sessions as opposed to the traditional hour-long lecture. There are a lot of different things going on outside of an organization that impact the learning that happens inside the organization. On the very last slide, I want to mention just a few of the organizational characteristics that can impact training and development. The last factor that I'd like to mention is the characteristics of the organization. Things like the size of the company can impact the extent to which learning occurs, the effectiveness of specific training programs, as well as the overall strategy of the training and development system. The roles and responsibilities of managers and employees can also play a role. The extent to which top leaders and top managers support training and development, the extent to which employees participate in training development and evaluation can also play a role in the effectiveness of the entire system. The qualities and conditions of different business units and divisions can play a role. Training and development systems are closely tied to other human resource management practices like recruitment and selection. And finally, the existence of unions can play a role in who is invited to training, whether they are compensated for training, and other training related decisions. Together, all of these different factors shape what any given training and development system looks like. Anytime we try to make a change to a system, we need to understand all of the different components, but also the environment in which that system exists. So, for the future, when analyzing a training program, when trying to make a change to a training system, remember some of these factors and how they might create opportunities or create challenges for you when you try to implement that new program or make that new change.